Another Iowa Republican running for Randy Feenstra's seat in Congress has dropped out of the GOP primary race. In a post on his campaign Facebook page today, Christian Schlaefer announced the suspension of his campaign. Though proud of the campaign he ran, Schlaefer told supporters, quote, "The campaign is not where it needs to be for us to continue forward at this time," end quote. Schlaefer's departure leaves two Republicans in that primary field. They are Siouxland Chamber President Chris McGowan, who's been endorsed by President Donald Trump, and businessman Ryan Rhodes. They're vying for the seat held by Congressman Randy Feenstra of Hull. Feenstra is running for governor of Iowa and isn't seeking re-election to Congress. There are also three Democrats seeking their party's nomination for the seat: Stephanie Steiner of Sutherland, Ashley Wolf-Turnebane of Storm Lake, and Dave Dawson of Lawton. Both primary elections for both parties are set for June 6th.